Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are having a great day today. So today's video is going to be a very casual chatty video. I have been asked this question so many times that I thought let me do a video on this. So I will demo these products out for you and we'll just do a very simple everyday friendly look. So the product which I'm talking about today and the product which inspired me to do this video is the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. And I have been asked so many times what is your Maybelline Fit Me Foundation shade and how I use the Maybelline Fit Me concealers and about the powders. These are like very hot products and people want to know from me what are the shades I use. So I thought, okay, let me just demo these products out for you just in case if I have to reply to anybody, I can just point them to this video and they can just go ahead and check out for themselves. So if you have ever asked me that question or if you have ever wondered about that, then this is the video for you. So without much further ado, let's get started quickly with today's video. So as you can see, I am all prepared for a demo. I have nothing on my face. Well, I do have a little bit of moisturizer, but I feel I need a little bit more. So I will be using the Body Shop moisturizer, which I'm currently trying to use up. I've had this for a little while, so we'll just use a little bit of the moisturizer. I am not using a hydrating primer today, so I need a little bit of moisturizer. So today I won't be using any foundation. I will be using a BB cream for my look. But the very hot question which I get like very frequently on my channel is what is my Maybelline Fit Me Foundation shade. So my Maybelline Fit Me Foundation shade is 322 Warm Honey. This is a foundation shade which I used to use, but if you have been following me for a really long time, I used to talk about this very long time ago on my channel that I am not a big fan of this foundation. I don't really like this foundation that much, so I don't really use it. This is sitting in my collection just for reference. I don't use it. It's pretty old, so I won't be demoing this product out on my face, but I can just show you how it looks on my skin so that you get a better idea. So I'll just take a little bit and I'll just show a little bit. So this is 322 and this is how it looks. Sometimes I feel like I should probably get a deeper shade. Maybe then I like the foundation a bit more. I don't know, something about the foundation I don't like. I have blended this out here. I don't know, something about the foundation, the undertone or how it sits on the skin, it blends pretty well, but it has a very matte look, and nowadays I am liking some matte foundations. So I don't know, maybe I need to try this again sometime. I need to see if I can get a better shade match, although I think this shade looks pretty fine. For reference, I am somewhere around NC 43, somewhere between NC 42 to 43, but I am more towards 43, 44 side, so I'm on the deeper spectrum. So yeah, this is Maybelline 322 Warm Honey, which I get asked very frequently. So I'll just quickly take off this because I don't want this on my skin because it's pretty old and I just have it for reference, and I did not throw it out because I do get this question a lot. So okay, so that's off. This is like a very random video which I'm doing today. Okay, so that was about the foundation. Now about the two other products which I'm going to demo out today. We are going to see the Fit Me concealers as well. So I have two shades, Deep and Café. So Café I have bought recently. I showed it in my Bangkok haul, and I got this because I found that the shade match is really good. It's pretty close to my skin tone, and nowadays I've started using it around the like areas of my mouth where I feel like it can use some even complexion. So I think it's working out pretty well, so I'll demo it out how it works out. And the shade Deep I usually use as highlighting concealer. Okay, so before we start, I think I'll just apply a little bit of BB cream because today I'm not using any foundation. For BB cream, I will be using the Colorbar BB cream and the LA Girl Pro BB cream. So I just mix both of these BB creams. I'll mention the shade names in the description box so that you can check it out. These BB creams do not have a lot of coverage, so even though they feel a little bit light, but they work out pretty fine. And later I will be also demo the Maybelline Fit Me powders. I have two shades, Deep and Medium Deep. I will demo both of the colors so you can see for yourself. So let's apply the BB cream really quickly. For BB creams, I just don't bother to use brushes. I just use my fingers. So I think I don't need any more. So I have blended out my BB cream. I think it's blended really nicely, and the reason why I'm using a BB cream is because this Fit Me powders which I'm going to use, they have a pretty good like a medium coverage, so you can use the powders to get some coverage. These BB creams don't really have any sort of like a lot of coverage, so it's just a very light coverage. So on these I prefer to use these kind of powders which have a little bit of coverage. And the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation, the reason why I did not use it on my face is because it's pretty old, and another reason is that this is a matte foundation, and if I use these powders over this matte foundation, my skin is going to look really cakey and matte. So I don't want to do that. So I want to keep my skin very light, so I'm using a BB cream and I'll use these powders. So if you have dry skin, just keep that in mind. I have dry skin, so I don't want to top up too much powder on a matte foundation, so that's why I did not use a foundation. I'm using a BB cream. Okay, next we'll apply some concealer. So first let's take the concealer deep for underneath the eyes, and this will be like my highlighting shade. So I apply very little bit. Usually I don't follow that triangle shape. I just apply little bit underneath my eyes just to brighten up the area and over this area. Now I also used to take this around my mouth, but after I found that Café shade, I don't do that. So around my mouth I'll be using this shade Café. So I can use actually quite a lot, and it doesn't look like crazy because the shade match is pretty good. So I use a little bit more around the mouth, and I'll use a brush and blend the concealer. So first we'll use the highlighting concealer, and I also take this above into my eyelids when I'm like doing very quick looks and I'm not going for something too crazy with eye looks or something. I just use my concealer. Other times I do use an eyeshadow primer if I'm planning to wear eyeshadows. So as you could see, this concealer has blended really nicely, and that's the amount I use. I don't use more than that. And for this concealer I'll just use the same brush and just blend it out. So I'm using this very dense brush. It's from Zoeva, and it's the silk finish brush. You can use any kind of dense brush or the foundation brush or a blender, whatever you're comfortable blending out your product with. It's very difficult to blend and talk this area. You can apply a little bit more here. It is a medium coverage concealer. It doesn't give a lot of coverage, but I feel like still it does even out the skin tone there. If I apply the same highlighting concealer, it looks really weird. So most of the time I don't really apply anything there, or I'll just use a little bit of the foundation which I'm using. That's about it. But after finding this Café shade, I'm using it around the mouth, and it's working pretty well. So here is a swatch of both the concealers. This one is deep. The deep concealer is also not deep enough, so you won't be able to use it as like a concealing shade. That's more of a highlight shade. And the shade Café is this one, which is more like more closer to my skin tone, so I can use it for a little bit of concealing here and there. So these are both the shades, Café and deep. Okay, now let's go on to the powders. Now I have two powders, medium deep and deep. I got the shade deep first, and then I thought this is a little bit too dark. It's not actually too dark, it's just a tad bit dark. For day-to-day use, I can use it just around the perimeters of my face where the skin is darker, where you actually bronze the face. I can use this one. And for like the center part of my face where I highlight, I can use this one. So both of these work. And if I have a tan, like when I came back after my holiday, I could actually use this on my face, the shade deep. So it depends on your skin tone. If you like, my skin tone shifts a lot, so I can actually use both of these powders. So I thought let me quickly demo both of these powders for you. This is the shade medium deep, and this is the shade deep. So I feel like the shade medium deep is a tad bit warmer, so it just, I don't know, meshes with my skin really nicely. And this is not that warm, the shade deep. So I think that's my only concern. Other than that, both of the shades I can make them work. Quickly, just to let you guys know how much product you get in these powders, you get 20 grams of product or 7 ounce of powder in it, so that's a lot of product. So really good for a drugstore. I think for the price you're paying, you're getting a lot of product. And as you guys know, I have been really loving this powder. It gives a very natural finish. I love my Fit Me concealer. I think it's very lightweight. It blends really nicely. So let's demo the medium deep shade first. I will just shake up a little bit. So you have these perforated holes from where the powder comes out. This shade I will apply towards the center of my face. And this is a very, it doesn't have a dewy finish or anything. The previous Maybelline Fit Me powder had a dewy sort of a finish. This one is more matte or more skin-like. I think if you have very extremely dry skin, you may find it more matte. If you have normal skin, you will feel like it is skin-like. So yeah, it's more on the matte side, but it gives a pretty good coverage as you can see around my nose. And I really love this shade. For the center part of my face. Okay, this was medium deep. Okay, now if I have to show you deep, I'll just show you deep as well. So this is how I apply the shade deep around the perimeters of my face. As you can see, it matches pretty well as well. I mean, it's not that deep, especially around the perimeter of the face. I think a little bit deeper powder will be better because the perimeter is usually deeper. And then I just go ahead and blend both the powders out. Take a little bit above the eyes, and with a tensor brush I'll just apply around my neck. So on the neck also I use the deep shade. I think it works out better. So that's the demo of both the powders and the concealer. So as you can see, the powders give a pretty matte finish, very skin like. There's not a lot of glow, but still I think I really like it, because even though I have dry skin, I don't prefer these kind of products, but the powder gives a very skin like finish, and if you set it with a setting spray or something, it just locks in the makeup and the makeup just looks beautiful. I think it sets the makeup very nicely, and it can be used on a day-to-day basis as well. So if you have normal to dry skin, you can use this powder. If you have oily skin, definitely you can use. If you have very dry skin, then I think you just need to see for yourself if you like this kind of finish. But I think if you have just slightly dry skin like me, then you can definitely use this product. So that's my face done. I think now I'm going to go ahead and do my entire face. I will just use a little bit of bronzer, blush, and a little bit of color. I'll just do very simple makeup. Okay guys, so I'm back and I just finished my look. So I did a little bit of a simple eye look, just some colors from this palette, from this Morphe palette, just some pinks, one pink, and I think a little bit of black. That's about it. It's a matte, very simple basic eye look. Did some eyeliner, kajal. I did not do anything on the lower lash line. Then I applied some highlighter and blush. Highlighter is very essential when you have a matte look like this. And lipstick. Now I will mention all of the products in the description box. You can go ahead and check it out. I always mention all of my products there. The last step which I want to show you is this one. This is very important whenever I use this powder. This is any kind of setting spray which you want to use. I think using a setting spray will just help to lock in everything, and it will give you sort of a extra refreshing feel. Plus it will blend in everything really nicely. The powder is going to blend into the skin. So if you have dry skin, I would highly recommend you to use any kind of setting spray. Okay, so here it is. I think the setting spray has done its job. I think it has set the makeup really beautifully, and the base is looking really great. I don't have any foundation on. I'm just using BB cream. So just some concealer and powder. The Maybelline Fit Me concealer is one of my favorite drugstore concealers. Very lightweight, gives a nice coverage. If you wait a little bit and then blend it out, you'll get even more coverage. And same goes for the powders as well. Really nice powders. I have dry skin, but still I like them because these are very lightweight. They don't cake up your face. They are skin like matte finish, but they don't make your makeup look cakey or anything like that. Even if you have dry skin, I think you'll be able to use these powders. They give a very smooth, even application, and it also gives a very good coverage. So both the powders and the concealers are one of my favorite Maybelline Fit Me products. I do really need to try the foundation, I think, one more time, because I used to use it way back, but I have never liked that foundation that much. So I think that's about it for today's video. That's the information I wanted to give you, and I hope those of you who had the questions have their answers now, and this video was helpful to you. If this video was helpful and you liked it, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're watching me for the first time, then I really hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again really soon in my next video. Bye.